not making more of it, or at least I used to think they're not making more of it, and that's Waterfront. And yet there is the little bits, especially around Ottawa, where they're actually making Waterfront out of older gravel pits or digging deep and making a little man-made lake, and yet it's nice Waterfront. So they're making a little bit more of it, and in the scheme of things, we're not making more Waterfront. The Waterfront that exists is the Waterfront that there is. And so that brings us to a really interesting thing about living on the water. It's a rare commodity. A rare commodity is being able to live on the water because there's not that much of it. For every one waterfront, there's probably 1,000 non-waterfront properties in the Ottawa area, and we've got more waterfront because of our rivers than a lot of towns and cities and areas. And so Ottawa is a special place in that you actually have the option to right fit to waterfront. And so the place we're hanging out today is my little waterfront. We call it the Manotick Cottage, and really it's where the Decker team hangs out, right in Manotick on the main street. So every so often you'll hear a little bit of truck traffic, and yet in the scheme of things, look at what we get to look at every single day. And we have the special privilege of being on the S-Bend, which means we get a really decent view down the river. And this is a quiet spot on the water. So if you're thinking of right fitting to water, there's a couple things to think about. Now, with all the experience we've had helping folks navigate to water and living on water and actually navigating water and the whole process of buying or selling, I'm just going to touch on a couple of little things related to waterfront. And if you want a little more insight, you could tune in tomorrow morning on Friday, the 27th of October, to 99.1 FM and listen to a show that Ken and I are going to do on right fitting to water or waterfront. And if you want to learn about other types of real estate, another little bits of information will be available on our YouTube channel. About 300 shows about different real estate and home ownership and home maintenance ideas and tips and insights. And yet all that content is a fraction of what we have access to and what we already know. And so if you're looking for insights, you may want to give us a call and we can talk further about your specific needs. And yet right fitting to waterfront, couple of things. One is they're not making more of it. So that is something we just can't get it. Well, they're almost not making more of it, as I said. They're certainly not making a whole lot more rivers or lakes. And we just helped a client navigate to a gorgeous piece of lakefront, like an hour from Ottawa. Beautiful, custom made, pristine, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And they've been looking for a while. And then we found an amazing place. Their dream, and the great news is somebody else built their dream for them, and now they just have to settle in and enjoy. So that's an opportunity that may exist for you. Finding something that somebody else dreamed of, and then life happened. Life changed, and now there it is, ready and waiting for you. So that's one great thing around waterfront. Somebody else has already taken and made it beautiful. It's got a little bunkie, so I'm actually going to get to come and visit and hang out. Not that I really need to sleep over, because it's only an hour away. And then the other neat thing about waterfront is it has this calming, beautiful, tranquil, kind of resting, like a place where you just can unwind. And kind of like nothing else. And taking a bath or having a hot tub or a pool, they're nice. And it doesn't do the same thing for the psyche as being able to get a chair and sit right here. My chair's not here. It's actually up there right now because it's getting a little late in the season. And yet, can you believe it? October 26th, and we're still able to enjoy the beauty of the waterfront and all these geese. We've got so many of them. So that's the other amazing thing around waterfront is the wildlife. It attracts animals. I mean, it's just so much enjoyment that can come from that. So if you've ever thought, hey, I wonder if there's options out there for me. Maybe I want to build on waterfront and buy a vacant piece of land. They still exist. It's actually a little secret, because I think a lot of it's been built on, and yet there's still nice little spots here and there where you can buy and build, or you can buy something that's already there. So if you want a few more insights around the whole idea of right fitting to Waterfront, then you can tune in tomorrow on October 27th at 99.1 FM. And here Ken and I just share a little bit of the insights that we have access to around living on Waterfront. And then there's the other flip side of that. Maybe you have loved it for years, and then you're saying, I'm now at the point in my life that although I've loved it and it's given me peace and tranquility and calm, it's time to move into the high rise, which we've been helping other folks do. And so that's kind of cool, because it means we have a secret list. We have a secret list of Waterfront for those that are going to be making the move off Waterfront shortly. So if you're thinking of moving onto it, you might want to call me and get access to that secret list. So let's just think about, ponder just for a minute, and take some deep breaths about the tranquility and calm that comes from waterfront living, and then enjoy a really peaceful, amazing afternoon.